woke Lightyear film with lesbian kiss flops at the box office, you might ask yourself, why does a lesbian kiss need to be in a cartoon for kids? Why? Well, because there's an empty space and a woke cause needs to fill it. That's why. There's an empty space and a woke cause needs to fill it. Every time. Every time. Okay, well, they suffered because they didn't do so well at the box office. Let's take a look. Lightyear, a Disney film giving Toy Story fans the chance to experience the backstory of Buzz Lightyear. I didn't see Toy Story, so. Failed to take off after a series of controversies surrounding a lesbian kiss scene. Despite Disney positioning the film for success by debuting Lightyear as their first theater-only movie in over a year, the film flopped. Can't imagine why. At the box office, bringing in nearly $20 million less than the projected $70 million for opening weekend. Well, maybe parents sat back and said, I just want to take my kids to see a cartoon. I wasn't signing up for like woke lessons on, pronouns and what it means to be a lesbian and maybe they didn't want to do that with their Saturday. Can't imagine why. Why does this stuff need to be in everything? The franchise also asked Tim Allen, who was the original voice of Buzz Lightyear back in the Toy Story days. Actress Patricia Heaton, who co-starred with Allen in the sitcom Home Improvement, blasted Pixar, saying that Allen was the one element that made moviegoers want to see the film. Skip down a little. Speculation roiled that he was pulled from the project for having been a supporter of President Donald Trump. Wouldn't that be just fitting? Wouldn't surprise me. I can't say it was true or wasn't. Wouldn't surprise me, though. This Disney stuff is, and this is great. I have to read more. Wait, I underlined this for a reason. The film had cut a lesbian kiss scene, but after Disney faced backlash for not opposing Ron DeSantis' bill to keep talks of sexuality out of elementary classrooms, infamously dubbed the Don't Say Gay bill, Disney employees used the act scene as fuel for accusations that the company wasn't doing enough to be an ally to the LGBTQ plus community. So in other words, they were like, we need to take a stand. We need to be the anti-DeSantis, even though there is no Don't Say Gay bill. Again, don't take the bait. You're smarter than that. Go look for the words Don't Say Gay in the bill. They're not there. There is no Don't Say Gay bill. There is no Don't Say Gay bill. Remember that. But they needed to say, well, we need to be the antithesis to Ron DeSantis. He's being painted as anti-gay. We're not doing enough. We got to put the lesbian kiss scene back in. Imagine activism. In the cartoon industry is what you have now. Activism. And they're not shy about it. Let's skip to the second page. Remember this stuff? The box office bust doesn't come as a total surprise, however. Around the same time as the same-sex kiss was restored in March, Disney's corporate president, Carrie Burke, said in a company meeting that she wants, quote, many, many, many LGBTQIA characters in our stories. And that she wanted at least 50% of the characters to be LGBTQ+. At the same meeting, Disney's executive producer spoke about her, quote, not at all secret gay agenda. So they're telling you. It's not secret. They're not quiet. They're telling you. They're telling you. We are an agenda-driven company. You're not going to be watching Snow White, Cinderella, and Pinocchio the way you once did. We're here to change minds about these issues, and we're going to get to your kids first. So you wake up on a Saturday, maybe you don't do the research on the cartoon. Maybe you think about, when I was young, I went and saw Disney cartoons. This looks like a good one. Maybe that scene's not in the promo. You show up at the movie theater, you sit there, and now you have to be uncomfortable around your kids asking questions. They're uncomfortable. Why? Because kids don't want to see that. They don't want to see any of it. Kids don't want to see kissing at all. They don't want to see kissing at all. When they're like, ew, they're kids. They just want to watch a cartoon. They weren't looking for a lecture on how to be woke that Saturday afternoon. So they sink at the box office. And what I always say to parents is, use your dollars. You see what's going on. Listen, I love Disney World. I do. I went there. When I hosted The View, we did a week at Disney World. I went on all the rides. I love rides. I do think it has a certain magical component. You see Cinderella's Castle. I grew up watching those cartoons. I get it. But you have to realize what you're promoting, what your dollar goes to, and what is being used as activism now. Activism for messages that maybe you don't even oppose the message, but you want to be the one to have it with your kids, right? Maybe you're on board with what they're saying, but you're like, I don't really want a company to have a gay agenda. I want to have those conversations at home with my own child. I don't need him or her to learn it through a cartoon on a Saturday afternoon. Maybe you're in that camp. Regardless, just know what you give your dollars to, they take it and they grow that agenda. So make a decision. And I always say, Tyler, your dollar counts. Parents have purchasing power. This is the free market, right? When the film tanks, they get a little memo. That's not to say they'll change, because I think the agenda is bigger than whether or not this particular movie succeeds. I think they're like, well, let's reach who we can, and it's more important for us to be viewed as woke than for the film to do well.
I was looking at this next line. I mean, this is astounding. In April, I looked at this article. It's a Trafalgar poll. Polling revealed that 68% of Americans are, quote, less likely to do business with Disney after the company's sexual politics were revealed. 70% of people, they're sick of it. You know, and this is like, remember when John Cena was talking about the Fast and Furious and he referenced Hong Kong and he got a whole bunch of shit. So he came out and apologized in Chinese.
Yes.
In Chinese, nonetheless.
I do.
It's people are getting sick of this stuff, and we'll see what happens. You know, yesterday I was getting a haircut and I was talking to the guy at the barber.
Looks very nice, by the way.
Thank you.
Notice.
And I was talking with the barber, and you know, he's representative of so many people. Like, we do this for a living. Like, I do this with Pat. I do this. You know, I opine on things, and this guy was just cutting hair, and you could tell he was like, I'm sick of it. All of my money is going to bills, rent. Gas, electric, food. And he said, you know, it used to be that I had to cut 7 people a day and I'd be fine. I'd do 7 haircuts a day. I'd be just fine. Now I'm doing 14. I'm doing 14 haircuts a day just to survive. Can't buy myself.
Inflation, gas prices.
Can't buy a set of headphones. Can't buy a new pair of sneakers. Can't go to Disney World. I can't do anything. He said, this is absurd.
Well, he may not want to go to Disney World after what's going on now, but
That's
it's true.
Fair.
You make a good point. And I think it's not just, we're talking about cartoons today, we're talking about kids, but this happened in sports too. People are so tired. They're like, can't I just go to a football game? Can't I just go? This is your break usually, right? We talked about a wind down yesterday. Your break is like, let me turn on some sports. Let's go to a nice movie with the kids, something family friendly. That's your break from, you know, aspects of life that are hard. Life is not easy. Paying bills is not easy. Gas prices. You go to fill up your gas tank and you're like, I got to do an extra 4 haircuts. This is real life stuff. People live in paycheck to paycheck. But you know what? If they can have a little bit of enjoyment, watch a game, you can't even do that anymore without this woke politics being injected to every fabric of everything. It's not just cartoons. It's not even just sports. It's everything. You can't turn on. I used to like to watch award shows because I used to look at the fashion. I'm not really that into fashion, but I'd be like, ooh, I was very Joan Rivers. I was like, girlfriend, that dress, somebody did you wrong. I was that person at home. But it was enjoyable. My mom and I used to be like, her hair, you know, it was fun. Very Italian, very critical, little judgmental, but funny and fun. My grandma used to sit around and do that stuff. She was Joan Rivers, by the way. My grandma, let me tell you, my 100-year-old grandma from Naples, she wouldn't be having any of this. She'd be like, honey, you're a female, done. Honey, you're a male, done. We're not having this conversation, over. Wouldn't have cared, wouldn't have given a lick about what you had to say about her either when she walked away. Those were some people with guts, that generation, you know, with guts. Maybe because the people around them who fought in wars didn't watch a children's video about gender pronouns instead of getting ready for combat. Maybe. Let's just think about that for a second. So people need to wake up, and I tell parents, use your purchasing power, you know, really make your voices heard, because this stuff is getting creepy. It's getting real creepy. Again, you can feel however you want about these issues, but the fact that there's no space where it's not somebody trying to hold up a pin or a sign trying to say, I'm in the cool club and you need to be too. And now it's being targeted at kids every turn, school, cartoons. Where do they go to just have a normal kid experience where they're not constantly being injected either by Big Pharma or by woke politics with something? I ask. If you like the short clip, you can catch another one here, or you can catch the full episode right here.